So this is what you're going to need to make this rig. First of all, I'm using the Korda fluorocarbon stiff link. I'm using the 35 pound, but you can use the 25 pound. I've got some crimps there, my crimping tools, some putty. The OMC one is the one that I prefer. And then I've got lock hooks, size 4 on here. These are the OMC ones. I really like these hooks, but you can use whatever hooks you want. I've got my scissors, and then I've got my hook beads. I've got bait micro swivels, and then I've got the coated spinner rig swivels, some shrink tubing, and then just some anti-tangle sleeves as well. These are the Korda ones. I really like these ones as well. So we're going to get the fluorocarbon. We're going to take about 6 inches of that and just snip it off. When you snip it off, put a nice point in that just so it's easier to thread through your crimps. I'm just going to neaten that edge up on that one. And then get your crimp. And these are the large crimps from Korda that I'm using just because of the thickness of the line. Thread that through the first crimp, then loop it back on itself to create your link that's going to go on the end of your hook link. Thread that back in through itself, and then you can get that loop to your desired length. I like it sort of about that sort of size, just so it's easy to get on and off of a clip swivel. Then get your crimping tool. Make sure that it's horizontal in there, and make sure that you've got it right in the right place before you crimp down, because sometimes they can go a little bit offline. And then you just want to give that a nice firm grip and just listen for that click. As soon as you hear that click, that's enough pressure. So just there you go, you heard the click. And there you go, you've got your nice crimp on there. Then just get that tag end, get your scissors, and just snip that off, nice and neat. Then what I do is get an anti-tangle sleeve. Like I said, I'm using the Korda ones, and then just pop that on, just so then when you pull it onto your swivel, you can cover that over. Then repeat that again down the other end. So again, put your crimp on, bring your loop, but just before you pull it back through, get your swivel and just put that through the large ring of the swivel, and then we're going to go back through so that your swivel is nice and attached on there. And then just get this to the desired length. I like to have them about sort of 5-6 inches, but I'm going to bring that down just a little bit because I want to get it slightly shorter than that. And then what I do, just pull that nice and tight, and I just leave a little bit of a ring in that, just so there's a bit of movement in that swivel. I don't like it too tight, but again, it's different preferences. And then again, just make sure you get that crimp, and make sure that you get it nice and square when you put it into the crimping tool. Make sure before you crimp it down that you've got it nice and square in there. And then again, just crimp it down till you hear that click. That's it. And there you go. You've now got your swivel on there, on the end of it, and you can just nip off that tag end there. Okay. Next, what we want to do is get your hook. Like I say, I'm using the lock hooks from One More Cast, but you can put on whatever desired hook that you would like. So that just hooks over like so. He says. Okay. And then what I do, I use a bit of shrink tube, but you can use a kicker if you like. Just bring the shrink tube over the hook. Just be careful that you don't put it through the side of the tubing. Just bring that right the way down, and slide that over the swivel. And I like to bring it right onto this end of here, just so that I know that it's got a good grip. The next thing we'll do with that is we'll get that over the kettle, and we'll give it a bit of a steam. And when you're doing that, just be conscious just to pull the hook forward so that you create the bend, same as you would with a kicker. And then what we'll do is we get the little bait swivel, micro bait swivel, just put that on there so the bigger loop goes on the hook, leaving the little bit for your floss. And then lastly, just get one of these little beads on the end, thread your hook through that. Just make sure, again, that tip doesn't go through. And just thread that through like so. So you see it goes through the end, and then just push that round so you've got that bait stop on there. And I like to bring it to just there on top. So when you've got your pop-up on this, and this is sitting up nicely, that'll just sit up really nicely off the bottom like this. And that's it. Next, like I say, is just to go and steam that over the kettle and just just bend that like that so it just kicks back on itself. And the other thing that I'll do is get my tools just to put some tension in that line. So get it there and just on the hook. And then I'll just run that over the steam as well, just so it's nice and straight, and then put that straight into my box and you're ready to go. So give it a try, see how you get on, and get that fish in your net. So there you have it, the Ronnie Rig, ready to go. Just get your desired pop-up, floss it onto your hook, and then what I do is, like I say, get some of this putty, put that putty just around, I like to put it around that crimp, and just mould that around. And then just give it a test in the water. Make sure when your pop-up's on there that it sinks nicely on the bottom, and it should sit up and present itself lovely. Well, good luck and get in my net.